let's talk about robotaxis. Big news since we spoke last on June 22nd. The Tesla robotaxi launched in Austin with a flat fee of $4.20. Elon loves his 420 over and over again. So robotaxi is now live. Here is Elon at Tesla headquarters in Austin. And here's a quick video of what a fan had as an experience in the robotaxi. Thoughts? Finally, he's done it. I mean, I think it's one of the biggest markets, that Tesla is going to experience. We've seen Cathie Wood predict as a multi-trillion-dollar marketplace. Tesla will have been known as a car manufacturer. It will be known as a humanoid robot and autonomous, robotaxi service delivery company. Thoughts, gentlemen?
So 2 quick thoughts. One is never bet against Elon. I've learned that to my massive investment portfolio suffering over the last decade. I think the second observation is these cars are technologically quite inferior to the Google Waymo taxis because they don't operate in heavy rain. They're limited by human level sight. And that's a problem, I think, in the long term. He may get some buzz out of it, but he's going to have to upgrade the LiDAR for this to be really workable.
Well, we'll talk about that.
And it could be, hold on. Let me just sit on the other side of that. He could just be waiting for LiDAR systems and all that to hit the cost curve where it becomes cheap enough, and then you just flip over to that.
Well, you know his thesis, right? If a human driver can drive with just his or her eyes, in fact, with one human eye, then from first principle thinking, an autonomous car should be able to drive with a couple of cameras. And that's his basic thesis.
That's great, except LiDAR can see 5 cars ahead. So
why not give it superhuman skills?
Yeah,
why not give it superhuman?
You could do it. Why not do it? And yes, it's much more expensive for now. I think he went down a philosophical route of going away from LiDAR, and I think you end up with an inferior product. But if it's workable and it works well enough, that's fine.
I mean, listen, I drive with my Tesla's autonomous mode all the time, and it does perfect. The only time it ever stops working is when it catches me picking up my phone and looking at it and it beeps at me. Otherwise, it's extraordinary. In the rain.
That part surprised me, actually. I didn't know, when we were driving together a couple of weeks ago, the inward facing camera is new to me. It's like actually watching your behavior and then adjusting. I was like, wow, that's a little weird.
Okay, this was the slide about Waymo versus Tesla. And here's a tweet. The downfall of Waymo began yesterday. This was tweeted on June 23rd about the launch of Elon's robotaxi. So people need to understand the Waymo car is not cheap. It's a $200,000 vehicle. It's got 29 cameras, 5 LiDARs, 6 radars versus the robotaxi. And Elon has held to his first principle thinking, there shall only be cameras.
This would be a great Dave Salim bet. Dave, do you have a particular preference on which one would win out in this?
Yeah. Peter, you know this topic far, far better than I do. My bet, knowing what I know, is that it'll be about a 70-30 split. There's always 2 or 3 vendors in any given market in the US. It always stabilizes at that for antitrust reasons. Tesla will grab the lead now because they put a bigger investment into the neural chips. On the other hand, Google's got incredible technology. But if I had to bet right now, I'd say 70% of the market goes to Tesla, 30% goes to Waymo. It stabilizes.
So I'm 50-50 because I always prefer better technology. Mm-hmm. But you have the never bet against Elon problem on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Here's the issue. It's a huge capital expense that Waymo will need to roll out to do this nationwide. Elon's got a different option. You buy a Model Y, you turn on self-driving, it drives you around, you're going on vacation for a week, you tell your car to go off and earn your revenue. So basically the CapEx is covered by the consumer and it becomes a revenue engine for you. So you'll buy a couple of these and just have them go out there. So he's going to populate millions of these cars across the country at no CapEx to himself.
So if you apply that model, which is essentially the EXO model, which is assets on demand, and you don't own your own assets, and you let other people self-provision these assets, etc., that will win hands down because it'll scale much, much faster than Waymo trying to own its own cars, which it has to.